All right, I just hit the record button, so we are going to get started and let people join as the class goes. So I just would like to say welcome to MCTV17 and MCTV18. This class is cross-listed, so potentially you could be in MCTV17, which is single camera production, or be in MCTV 18, which is television workshop. They are one and the same, and we'll talk more about why it's that way. But essentially, the point of this class is you are going to get a more beginner to intermediate education on a lot of different aspects of video production, content creation. Just so you know a little bit about myself, my name is Tim Allen. When you address me, just Tim is fine. That totally works. Hopefully, by the end of the semester, we'll all be on first name terms and you'll feel comfortable with everything. I really enjoy participation in this class, and that means if you're here for the Zoom, you are talking and answering questions, asking questions. We'll go over the syllabus in a bit, but participation is roughly 5% of the grade. So keep that in mind. I love being interrupted. I love having questions asked of me. So if at any point I'm talking or I'm giving a lecture, feel free to jump in and ask me a question. I also really love being derailed. So if you have a question, and I'll give plenty of opportunities at the end of lectures to be like, well, any questions specifically? Maybe we're talking about lighting and you're like, well, I have a lot of questions about sound, or I'm planning this shoot and I want to know X, Y, or Z. What's interesting for you is to know that I am not only am I a professor at Gab, I'm a part-time instructor at Gavlin College. I've been teaching at Gav for about 5 or 6 years now. I think this is like 10 or 11th semester where I've taught this course. I also teach 2 other courses, which I'll pitch at the end, just in case you are interested in taking other areas, which I do recommend. But what's interesting is, or at least I find it interesting, is I am a Gavlin graduate. I graduated Gav in year 2001. And what was really interesting was when I went to Gav, I've been a local my whole life, ended up at Gav, did my AA underdivision stuff, and didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And then I took this course and it changed everything. My instructor back then, his name was Jim Frazier, and the second I started doing video production, it's all I wanted to do. And hopefully I can inspire some of you to, maybe you're already passionate in the content creation, you're interested in learning more or going on. I think filmmaking, content creation is the most fun you could do. And I have successfully, not only have I been a professor for 6 years, I'm part-time at Gav, and I work a full-time job doing content creation, video production at, I'm running it right here, Christopher Ranch. I work for the Garlic Company here in Gilroy. I do all the social media and content creation for them. So if you want to see some of the active corporate work I'm working on, follow them on their socials. And I'm sure you'll see some Garlic videos as I show examples in different areas. But I have been working for the last 20 years in, I started Gav transferred to San Diego State, graduated San Diego State in their film and television program. And then from there, I've had a job in some aspect of film or television, whether it be live television. I worked on a feature-length documentary. I've done commercials. I've done professional commercials. I've worked on actual TV shows. So I have a lot of experience in a different areas. And for a majority of my life, I have lived up in this area. So there is work to be done in this area. I know everyone thinks of LA, and that's kind of, back when I was in school, it was more applicable, but now we can do video production anywhere, which is interesting. We'll talk a lot about that. All right, so you learned a little bit about my story. What I would like to start with is I'm going to show a video, and this video was submitted as someone's final for this course. We'll go over the syllabus in just a second, but just for inspiration, let's take a look at this one video, which one of my students produced for this course. Let me bring it up. Did I click off of it? Yes, let's talk about this. Hold on. Closed out of the tab. I'm doing well. It's been a summer. Let's see. So what's fascinating is, look here. Let me share my screen. This is a good thing too. If I start talking and I haven't shared my screen, someone tell me I haven't shared my screen, please. Because I tend to do that by accident. Okay, so of course we're on YouTube. What's interesting is the students become a content creator, YouTube channel, Giggly Dickens. You can see they have 30,000 subscribers. Not too shabby. This was turned in for the final for this course. Here, let's play through the ad. Let's mute that. Did I share audio? Can you hear it?
Let's take this to the next level.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You can hear it? Okay.
Yeah, you just put it back on mute.
Yeah, let me, okay, I'm going to, oh, there we go. You were hearing my speakers, so, not now. All right. Okay. Am I sharing my screen or are you looking at me? I feel like you're looking at me. Let me just double check this. All right. All right, let's hold on one second. Zoom's like, I got the weird thing. Wait, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay, great. All right. Okay. So what is interesting, and as we become content creators or we become better in our abilities to make things, the best way to make things too are to be consumers and to be avid consumers of media. So that means when we look at a video, when we watch something on YouTube, not only should we like click and be like, oh, I'm interested in YouTube, but as a content creator, I always go to two things. I go to, oh, I just got somebody wanting to add. Where did that, okay, here we go. Participants. Oh, no, everybody's here. Okay. All right. All right. I also look right here. I look at views. How many views does it have, right? Now, does views indicate, they have 1.2 million views. That's good for a YouTube video, right? They potentially could monetize this. They don't, but I'll tell you why after we watch the video. I'm just pointing this out as an example, as an inspiration. Let's take a watch. It's 5 minutes, and then after that, we're gonna get into the syllabus. We'll talk more. This is called Runners.
To all survivors still in Hollister, my name is Sergeant Rogan with the U.S. Army 7th Infantry Division. Me and my platoon are currently posted up on the outskirts of town awaiting to take any survivors down to the coast where we have linked up with the Navy. If you can hear me, please...
Oh,
Hello? My name's Nick. I need help. Are you still there?
Nick, you got to listen to me. We are posted up the road from a middle school called Spring Grove. We're only going to be here for a few more hours until we start heading for the coast. Can you get to us?
Yeah, I can get to you. It's a 5-minute drive.
Wait. There's a catch.
What?
You can't drive.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, damn it. If you drive a car, it's just gonna make too much damn noise and you're just gonna attract them all over here. Unless you have a Tesla.
No, I don't have a fucking Tesla.
Well then, you're gonna have to run.
Are you joking? No.
Talk to me, Nick. How we doing?
Good. Rogan? It's weird out here. Haven't seen a thing. Think they starved out?
That's a possibility. Do you see any bodies?
That's what's weird. No bodies.
Well, let's not stick around and find out where they went.
Agreed.
Nick, you need to listen to me. You have to lose the horde. Fuck! Okay, boys, it's about to get messy.
all right. Stop the share. Let's just make sure I stop it so it doesn't autoplay. And of course, we clap when we watch movies in class for everybody. Yes, so Gio Silva turned that in as the final for this class. Now, here's the thing that I want to say. I don't want to intimidate anybody, be like, oh, I can't make anything like that. Well, the point of the class is to be able to learn the techniques on how to be able to make something like that. So the student Gio had already done a lot of video production up to this point. He just ended up refining his skills and learning more. He also had access to a lot of technology that not necessarily all of us are going to be able to have access to. But what's good, so just watching this, can anyone tell me something they noticed? What did they like? When we watch things, I really count on the class to like tell me what they thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? It's totally fine either way to tell me. I'm interested in critique.
I definitely liked it.
All right,
Just my
Jasmine.
Wi-Fi is super laggy, and
Oh,
so
okay.
like once it got to the runners, it like started freezing on me. So I definitely want to go back and rewatch it.
All right. So when that is the case, I'll drop the link in the chat. So if you're interested, make sure to click on that. Just a note too about anything I put into the chat. Once the Zoom meeting's done, the chat gets flushed, so we can't go back. So I always copy and paste things, and it's going to be a good delivery method when you turn in your project stuff too. Is always to email me and turn me into iLink. Putting something in the chat. If let's say you turn in your project in the chat, it won't count unless you turn it in via the proper channels. But great, thanks, Jasmine. Anybody else have a critique or thought about runners?
One thing that two things that I really appreciated was the clarity of the story, whatever they presented. It is really easy to follow along, and the transition. So there wasn't any confusion about what was happening, and I was taken along for the ride.
Yeah, they did a really good, solid job of telling just a really short, easy story of like, you have to get from point A to point B, and also don't make any noise or else running zombies are going to show up, right? Yeah, great. Thanks, Grace. What I of course I've seen this a ton and I've given critique on it. So those are what's successful. What do you think doesn't work in this piece? Well, I'll say it's because I can be mean in the first class and everybody's being nice right now. I think the acting from a lot of them are really rough, and that's just one of those things. I think some of the dialogue is, I think those soldiers are really bad actors. But that's one of the things that we do is when we'll watch more locally produced pieces that actually have some good acting in it. If any of you've seen the film showcase from last year, we definitely have a lot of good local actors. It's just, you'll learn by the end of this semester that doing a production like this takes a lot of time, effort, money, and a lot of people. So just looking at the cast and looking at what it was produced, how many people do you think worked on this piece alone?
A lot.
Well, a lot, yeah, right, Joseph? A lot. We just saw, just from the drone shots alone, that running, they had to have at least 10 zombies in makeup chasing after the one person. So cast alone, we're at 12 or 13. And then you have to think there's someone holding the camera, there's somebody holding the audio, there's somebody, and we'll learn all this through the semester to be able to figure out how many it is. So I always say this too, when you're thinking about your final project, it's great to go big. This was really successful for these content creators. They actually produced two videos that get over 1 million views in my class that semester, and they have a Patreon, and they make a little bit of money, but they're totally working on, if you liked Runners, they have Runners 2 and Runners 3 on their channel as well. So definitely a trilogy going on. Check that out, Giggly Dickens. But it's one of those things where it's like, manage what you can do. And so sometimes it's like, hey, maybe you're going to write a script that has dialogue between two people, and they're sitting in a room or something you have access to, right? Like I had one student be like, oh, I want to do a movie that takes place in ancient Rome. And I'm like, great. Think about costumes, locations, how you're going to make it look like ancient Rome, how many are you going to have how many gladiators you're going to have, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to manage all of those things. So it's always good for these projects to keep it in contemporary time period. So you don't have to worry about costumes and stuff like that. You can just use clothing. Or like they did, blood splattered thing, right? This film is 4 years old now at this point. So super interesting. Okay, so most classes will watch something and discuss, and that's just part of like what's going on. The other thing that other than this class, will go into every single time we meet is I ask the question, what have you seen? And that basically is a good time to get your class participation in and tell me, hey, Tim, I watched X, Y, or Z, and I like it or I don't like it. It doesn't have to be positive. You can tell us why it's bad or something. Like for example, here's my example. Hey, I over the break watched a great series on HBO Max called The White Lotus, and this was a 6-episode TV series, really dark comedy. And the cast was phenomenal. It had Steve Zahn and Connie Britton and Stifler's mom from American Pie. I'm blanking on her name right now. Also in Legally Blonde. But fantastic cast. I really recommend it. It's about a fancy resort in Hawaii called the White Lotus, and it's about the rich people who come in and stay and the staff that serves them. And it's dark and funny. I really recommend it. It's one of the best things I've seen this year. So, and then I give that series a 5 out of 5. So that's a kind of an example of what you would do for your participation. All right, I am going to pull up the syllabus and we'll go over that. Any questions or comments so far? I know I really haven't said much, but feel free at all anytime you have questions. The big thing that I want to get into and talk about is our meetings. Okay, so I know we're listed as a only on Zoom meetings, but I'm sure you saw my announcement, you saw my email. This semester, we have the opportunity to be in the TV studio on Thursdays from 4 to 6. I will be there, and I will be hosting our Zoom call like we're doing right now from the TV studio. You are welcome if you feel safe, if you and comfortable. Of course, I'll be masked. I'll be wearing a microphone so you'll be able to hear me, and you'll be on the computer, so I'll be able to see you and respond to your questions and comments. But if you'd like to be in person, this takes place at the Gavlin TV studio. I'm sure you didn't know, but in the library building, there's actual TV studio that has lights, equipment, it has everything. It's the best aspect of our program is the TV studio. And I really recommend that if you feel comfortable and you can be there, that coming in person is a good option because you actually will get to be able to physically touch the equipment, get to see what I'll be discussing. Now, those of you who don't are unable to go, of course, can watch on via Zoom, and it's only for your added benefit if you're able to make it there. So any questions, comments, or concerns about that? I'm vaccinated and will be masked, and our class is small enough that we'll all be able to be socially distanced in the building, and we'll have the doors open for ventilation. So all the safety precautions that are we will be taking. I have 3 small children, so I am very conscious about this type of stuff as far as COVID concerns. Questions or comments about the schedule? If not, if you can't make it for some reason, or you don't feel, or you just want to be on Zoom, totally fine. Just know that instead of being on my virtual background in my house Next time you'll see me, I'll be in the TV studio and we'll be talking about the equipment and everything that's there. Now, the only note for programming is we won't start Thursday in persons until next week. So this will be our only meeting for this week. And so then that'll be Thursday, September 2nd will be the first in-person on campus. And if you are thinking about it, let me just recommend everybody gets lost their first time going to the TV studio. And who knows how familiar you are with the campus, having been away from it for a while, or if you've ever been on campus. But there's the library building, which is one of the main if you go down the main thoroughfare, it's the library building. We are in the courtyard on the opposite side of the library. In fact, let me just pull up a map of Gav and we'll do that.
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
did you watch Interstellar? Oh my God, you did it. All right.
Joseph, I honestly almost watched it over the summer and then I got distracted or something and totally spaced. I promise you this week I will watch it.
Just promise me that this semester you'll watch it.
No, I will watch it this week. I've been wanting to watch it for the longest time. I would have probably watched it too if I remembered that you. I remember I got, I can't believe I didn't. Honestly, it's been one that I've been wanting to for the longest time. Okay, let me get let's see. I get this. I love being distracted. So okay, let me just click here. Okay, there we go. And then I am going to share again. All right. So here's our campus. Oh, clicked off of it. There we go. All right. So basically you come into the campus, there's two ways. This is the north way and the south way is over here by the duck pond. And the main parking lots are C and A over here. So if you park in A, well, honestly, the best place to park is probably C. And then you just walk up the hill and LI, see where it says LITV? This is the library. Okay, just those of you who are here, have you been to the campus? Is my question. Yes?
No.
No.
I haven't.
All right. Well, that's totally understandable with these last year and a half, right? So Jasmine, you come in. I really recommend coming in and turning left, and then either there's the big parking lot, or you can go down this way and park in C. There's the Gecka High School that's here. You park in C, and then you just walk up the hill, and you go, and the TV studio is right here. You can see that the library is here. If you've done any counseling or anything, this is like the main area where all the counselors are at. This is also where the cafeteria is at, if you're familiar with the campus. So this is kind of the main thoroughfare, and then the social studies and humanities building, the theater. So LITV, you can see it right here on the campus. Make sense? All right. All right, while we're here, let's go to, let's log in. Oh, Chrome doesn't work. Okay, let me stop that. Let me go to Safari. Share my Safari and let's go into iLearn. Okay, all of you, have you all been able to log into the iLearn, our portal here for 17 and 18? And you should be able to see the welcome video the first week. I have some videos for you to watch. Just know that every week I program some content. It's going to be additionally to I have a lot of videos that normally we would watch in person, but just because of internet and stuff, I'm not going to show everything that you might need. So Please watch all of these. It's going to give you examples of different types of shots, compositions, and we're going to talk about project number 1 when we go over the syllabus. All right, but looking into our welcome right here, we can see that our syllabus and our schedule, those are the 2 most important things to have this semester. So let's click on our syllabus, and the syllabus is basically the contract between me and you on what is going to be covered in this semester, and particularly what is pertaining to your grades. Now, I have good news about grades here in this class. Number 1, I don't give any homework. Number 2, I don't have a textbook. Number 3, those are kind of true. As far as homework goes, your homework are your projects. Now, what is interesting is I grade your entire class based off of 7 projects plus participation. And we'll go over the point breakdown. But honestly, if you turn in every single project on time and you put in the effort, this class is very, I always say you have to try to fail this class. And people do fail this class, and they usually do that by not turning in the final 3 projects, which are the projects, of course, go up in worth as they get harder. And we'll go over that. So let me just go. The course objectives. This course provides an introduction to the theory, terminology, and operation of video production, including story creation, image composition, camera operation, portable lighting, and audio operation, and basic editing. This course focuses on the aesthetics and fundamentals of video story production, including script writing, producing, directing, acting, post-production, and distribution. What does that mean? That means we cover a little of a lot. And what's great about taking this course is after you take this semester, you will be 100% ready to get into the film production class or to be more confident in the film production class. Those of you who, we'll talk about that at the end, actually. Attendance, this class begins exactly when scheduled on Zoom. The semester will meet twice a week, once on Zoom and once in person in the Gablin TV studio. Zoom link will be provided. Again, we'll be on Zoom both times, and you're welcome to join me in the TV studio. I'll be there. And whoever shows up, you get more of a hands-on opportunity with the actual equipment, and the studio is pretty good. It's really great. It's awesome. Big giant. On next Thursday, you'll get a full tour of the studio, a virtual tour maybe. You must come prepared to participate. Attending is also important because the lectures will give you the required instruction for the success on the projects. Also, you'll be given ample opportunities in class to collaborate with fellow students and instructors on projects. Experiences show me that that your work will suffer if you miss class more than a couple classes, because your progress greatly depends on class discussion and activities. Students who will miss more than 4 classes will be dropped. I do have within the first 3 weeks, I report attendance. So if you show up to this one and then don't show up to the other ones, I'm going to consider you probably have dropped the class. But if for any reason, I don't want to drop anybody incorrectly, and I want you to all succeed. But I too have been a student. I know scheduling issues, especially in Zoom COVID timing. If you're going to miss class, this is super important here at the top. My name's Timothy Allen. Here is my personal cell phone number. I don't have office hours because I don't have an office. I don't have an office phone. It's my cell phone number. Text me and say, Tim, this is important too. I get a lot of students who just like say, what's up? And then I'm like, who is this? Because I get a lot of texts. But say, hey, this is Joseph, and I'm gonna be late to the first meeting. This is Joseph. No, can I review? Oh, yeah, this is an actual interaction we had. Of course, I know Joseph from my class last semester, so I recognized him, but and was like, okay, no big deal. As long as you text me, even if you say, hey Tim, I can't be there. Can you record the Zoom? I will gladly record every Zoom and put it up. So maybe you want to go back and watch the lecture. Because I know we have appointments, we have obligations, and I'm totally accommodating in that aspect. So just let me know. That's all I want to know is I want to know I'm not here. I can't be here. You don't even have to tell me why. It says I can't be there tonight. I'll be like, okay, see you next time. All right. Projects. All projects may be worked on in groups or individuals. Now, this is important. Now, a group project, one semester, the entire class worked on one project together, and they worked as a team and produced it, and they all got A's because they all worked together. You can take advantage. So look at the people in the class. Just know that you're going to hear me say this a lot, but filmmaking, content creation, television production, any of these visual arts that we work on, and I say art, but filmmaking, content creation is not only an art form, but it's also a technical skill. So that puts us in the weird area where I think that we need a lot of different people who are talented in different areas, because it takes a lot of people to make every movie you've watched. Hundreds and hundreds of people work on it, but not everybody can, do the CG Spider-Man guy in the background. You need someone to do the art. You need someone to come up with the graphics. You need someone to be the actor, the director, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the different roles. So maybe, and what's great about working in projects is you're able to learn. Hey, I thought I was good at this, but I really love doing this. And what's interesting is some people find out I'm great at makeup, or I'm great at set design. I'm great at building sets. I'm great at producing. For me, when I was in school, I thought I'd be a director actor, and I realized, oh man, editing, that's my thing. I love to edit. So it's one of those things. You can work in projects on every single thing you do, except for the first project. Let me just say that. First project, you don't need a group. Really easy. We'll talk about the first project at the end of class. All right. If students choose to work in groups, they will be responsible for explaining what portion role they took part in. All projects must be submitted via YouTube or SoundCloud and will be viewed by the instructor on YouTube or SoundCloud. If the student does not already have accounts, instruction will be given signing up. Okay, so what do I mean YouTube? Okay, so first and foremost, I always get this question. It just has to be an online video portal. YouTube is the easiest, or at least the one that most people are familiar with. But if you want to do something like Vimeo, go for it. Just as long as you can give me a digital link that I need to see. Does anybody here not have a YouTube account? So yes, we all have a YouTube account. If not, feel free to message me privately if you don't feel like talking right now. But the thing about it is, if you have a Gmail email, you have a YouTube account. Gmail and YouTube are the same. So just log into a Gmail or create a Gmail. It's free. And then you have access to YouTube and you can just upload. Now, the number one thing I do want to say is every semester I get students who are super shy and not really want their stuff to be out there in the wild. Let me just say, please don't do the private option for your videos, because when you do private and you have to send a link and a password, and I almost always get a student who sends me a link and no password, and then I can't watch it or grade it. So do unlisted. If you want to keep your stuff hidden, there's an unlisted feature. No one's going to see it. But honestly, my theory is why not put it out there? And what if you go viral and then you're on your way to becoming a YouTube celeb? Who knows? All right, our 7 projects. This is important to note. Number 1, framing example. Requirements: film and edit example of proper framing, including CU, ECU, MCU, medium, wide, cross-cutting, and establishing shot. 2, PSA requirements. Make a persuasive video that uses audio or video. Number 3, dialogue-free storytelling. Requirements: write, film, and edit a story using no dialogue. Emphasis on visual storytelling without written dialogue. 4, a podcast. Requirements: students are required to create an audio-only project showing proficiency in audio recording and editing. Projects may be an audio play or podcast. 4, video news project or documentary. Video news show content requires shooting and interviews for a story. Content could be about content about activities that Gavlin preferred, but not necessary. Number 6 is a Gavlin event. This requires filming and editing at a Gavlin Community College event. Events can range from a sporting event to an instructor lecture, but this must be something that is on campus. If editing is involved, then you must shoot. If editing is not involved, then you shoot 2 events. Now, here's the thing. This one has an asterisk because, of course, COVID concerns. I do believe we are going to have some opportunities to film volleyball. I'm not sure if it's going to be outdoor, indoors about requirements, but if there are options, in a traditional year, we will have filmed anywhere between 10 to 15 different sporting events and or plays and or concerts at the campus. I will let you know if these opportunities. If not, I have an alternative option that just involves you watching something. But that will when we get to the end of the semester, we'll be able to determine if you have that opportunity. Also, you'll also have that opportunity if you don't feel safe or you don't want to come on campus. Totally accommodating. I just think that if you have the opportunity to participate in what we do, a live stream of a sporting event, it is a good learning opportunity. And then number 7, final video project. Requirements: students must pitch final projects ideas to instructor to get approval. Final projects must show proficiency in writing, filming, lighting, edit, audio, and editing. Basically, take everything you learned this semester and put it in your final project. Grading. This is the important aspect. Your final grade is based on 1,000 points. Projects 1 to 2 are worth 50 points each. Projects 3 and 4 are worth 100 points each. Projects 5 and 6 are worth 150 points each. And the final project is worth 350 points, and additional 50 points is awarded for class participation, which you all got for showing up for the first day of class. So you get your little bit of points right now. Most semesters I do offer extra credit, not necessarily a given though. Now, I would just like to note that this 350 points right there, that's a huge chunk. And your final is your most important project. It's the one I grade the most harshest. So don't let that be intimidating though. By the end of the semester, you and I have worked together and we'll totally, I have a lot of students with A's and B's in this course. Just know that like where people fail in this class is they don't turn in that final project. You turn in nothing, I have to give you 0. You turn in something, at least I can grade it. 350 points out of 1,000, of course. You don't turn in that final and it instantly puts you at a D, right? So turn in all your projects is my point. Right, a D, yeah, 70, 65, yep. All right. This is a section for master students. We don't have any master shoot. Joseph, you didn't take this class before, right? You took the editing.
I believe I did take this class before.
Oh, okay.
So
My bad. All right. So then yeah. I'm sorry, Joseph. I totally. Zoom classes are hard to remember these things, especially.
no, it was one of my first classes that I took, so that's why.
Right. Okay. So then this applies basically just to Joseph. Joseph is considered a master's student. Now, what's great about this class being cross-listed as 17, 18 means that if you take it for one, you can take it for another for credit. And in fact, what's awesome about Gab is we have a degree. You can get an AA degree in film and television. So if that's not your major, make sure consider that if that's something you want. But one of the options for the major is to take MC17 and MC18. Now, I don't expect you to take the class and do it exactly the same. What I do expect, though, is you come back and become what is called a master student. So Joseph's our master student. What does that mean? That means that basically he's here to help us learn from his experience. He has much more experience than others in the course, but that doesn't mean there's not opportunities to learn. Master students are responsible for 5 projects and attending and participating in as many gap sheets as possible. Their grades are projects 1 through 4, 100 points each. Participation in GAF events are worth 150. Final project, 350. Now, what's interesting for Joseph is, Joseph, you don't have to follow the formula that I put up above. You can just come up with 4 or 5 different projects of your own doing. Just talk with me and we'll figure out what you want to do. Maybe you want to do a podcast. Maybe you want to do a dialogue list piece. That's totally fine. But come up with some ideas of your own projects, okay?
Yeah, of course. Grant actually wanted me to direct my own film, so I might throw that in there as well, because I think I want to edit it as well.
So that counts too. Now, what's great about our film program as well is if you're taking any of our film program, and the film program at GAV is really small. There's 2 instructors. It's me, the part-time instructor, and our full-time instructor, and head of the department is Grant Richards. We don't care about double dipping. Let me just say that. If you do a project in here, use it in Grant's class, or if you do it in Grant's class, use it in here. So we just want good content. You can get 2 grades for the same thing, is my point. So sometimes it's really worthwhile taking multiple film classes, because like for an example, if you are doing your GE and you need there's a GE transferable class that's called MCTV17, and that's like introduction to
The history of film.
yeah, it's like history of film. Grant and I teach that class. I should know the name of it, right? I teach that class. And what's interesting about that class is our projects mirror this class. So potentially you could come and do all your projects for that class in here and get credit on both. So really interesting. If you haven't taken 16, we have excuse me, Grant and I, we accept as many students as possible. It's also all completely online. All right, just some learning objectives and stuff. Honesty policy, no cheat. Like, honestly, there's no reason to cheat. I have had students cheat in this class where they turn in somebody else's work, and I'll just give you 0 on it. So there should be no reason to worth plagiarizing here. And we accommodate all types of students. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Any questions or comments on the syllabus? I know the #1 question here, I'll just click into here now, is when are these projects due? Well, click on our schedule and it's gonna tell you everything that our schedule. You can see the 2 days we're meeting in August. As we can see, we're talking about basically, I have an outline of things that we're gonna talk about, some of the different things. Just know the things that are bolded or that are important, it's when the projects are assigned or when they're due. So what's interesting is right there, you can see project #1 due September 7th. Well, that's 3 weeks from now. Or 2 weeks from today, which is not going to be a big deal, because when we come back next Tuesday, we're going to go all over project 1. All the videos on Canvas are examples of other students who have turned in project #1. Again, project 1 is the framing example, and we're going to talk about composition of shots, which will go in next week. And then what's great is in Thursday, when we're on campus, we're actually going to film one and do it all in person. It's really doable. It's something to do within the first. I always tell the students that I shoot, edit, and upload my entire project within the span of 20 minutes. Now, I don't expect you to do that because I do an example of it every year. You don't have to do it as fancy as me. But any questions or comments? We'll go over project number 1 our next Zoom meeting.
Just to clarify,
Yes.
do you not have a meeting this Thursday?
No, there's no meeting this Thursday, just because it's the first week and we're getting into anything. Thursday the 2nd will be the first time we meet on campus. Make sense?
Yeah.
This will be the only Zoom meeting we have this week as well. So you see the 30th, we'll be going over all that stuff.
Good.
Sound good? Questions or comments about the syllabus or schedule? These are all available on Canvas. Make sure to download them, have them. They're like contracts. I'm going to turn this off now, and we'll go right here. All right, so, it's the first week. We're going to just talk a little bit. Now, project number 1 is all composition of shots. And what does that mean, composition of shots? Much like art, is going to be how is your frame designed? And it's one of those things. All of you have your cameras off, but just know that anytime you turn your camera on, I'm looking at the composition of your shot. And what does that mean? The composition means what is in our frame and how are you framing it. So as you can see for me right now, I'm right in the center of the frame. My eyes are looking I'm actually just looking at myself in the thing, but you can see that my head's not cut off and I'm not shrunken down. Now, I'm sure we've all been on plenty of Zooms and have seen people who are like, you're like all the way over here, or you're like down or like this or whatever, maybe your head's, this is my favorite when people do this Zoom. It's like, okay, cool. Why look at all this empty space I have around here. See, now let's like turn off my virtual background. Boom. Okay, now you can see my messy room. This is my office, as you can see. But like, why would I compose this when as a visual video production person, of course I'm like, all right, let's tilt down. I want it slightly above because the angle coming down makes me not only look nicer, but it's more appeasing. Oh, look right here, right there. You can see there's a sock or something. Again, I have 3 little kids, and this is kind of their school office area. Okay, I'm distracted by my own background, so I'm gonna put my virtual background back on. There we go. All right. Composition, again, you're going to watch some videos that's going to talk about the rule of thirds, which is like where in the frame we're going to put everything. But ideally, what we're going to do is for project number 1, you are required, according to the syllabus, you are required to not only, you have to turn in a video that has 7 shots. Now, this is the easiest project, an easy 50 points. And blur is not going to help me. I need to blur off. This is one of the projects where I am the least critical. I just want to know that you know the examples of the different types of shots. Now, for this one, we're totally going to use our cell phones or any type of camera, any recording device you have. Now, I'm going to get you, first and foremost, in any of the film production classes, you're going to hear me and Grant tell you this thing. If you turn in a video, first of all, if you turn in a video that's in portrait mode to me, it better say TikTok on the bottom, okay? I appreciate TikToks, but I work in a landscape environment. We turn our phones this way. This is landscape, that's portrait mode, up and down. Now we know TikTok encourages portrait mode, but how many of you have your TVs set up so they're in portrait mode, right? No one does, right? All TVs are landscaped, are rectangular in that shape. And so I want all of you to produce me videos that could potentially be shown at the Student Film Showcase. And that's going to be projected on a big, giant movie theater screen. So I want you to film it so that it fills the screen. I don't want to see black bars on the sides. And especially with this framing exercise. Now, according to the syllabus, you are required to give me shots that include proper framing, include a CU, ECU, MCU, medium, wide, cross-cutting, and establishing shots. All right. So what do those mean? Those stand for different types of shots. Now, I'm going to show you an example of all these different types of shots. So let's start with CU. Can somebody guess what CU could possibly mean when we're talking about a shot? This one is a close-up, and a good example of a close-up is actually when you see somebody's full face. This right here, how I have my face framed in the shot, would technically be called a close-up. And a close-up is going to be head. Think about head, okay? So number one, your video needs to have at least one shot. Now, what's interesting too is your videos doesn't have to tell a story. If you want to tell a story, more power to you. But in order to get 100% on this assignment, you just have to do the bare minimum, which is show me that you know how to compose a shot that's a close-up and all the other ones that we're going to go over. But this class, like many other classes, is there's no limit. If you want to go above and beyond and make, runners for sure meets every single requirement that this first project has. So if you want to produce runners for this one, go for it. If you want to produce something that's smaller in scope, sure. And you'll see in the examples that some people did stories, some people didn't do stories. What I'm saying is, in order to get full credit, you just have to show me these 7 different techniques. So close-up, number 1. Number 2 is an ECU. Anyone guess what an ECU could stand for? Remember, CU is close-up.
Can I answer this? Can I answer this?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Extreme close-up.
Extreme close-up. And Joseph, what's an example of extreme close-up I can do right now?
Zoom in.
Zoom in, right? So I'm just going to physically zoom in. Now, extreme close-up is going to be much like it would be here. Sorry, everybody. There, extreme close-up of my eyes. There's an extreme close-up of my soul patch. There we go. Soul patch going on right there. Extreme close-up of my mouth and soul patch. Sorry, everybody. That is an extreme close-up. So like you think about like shots of an eye, shots of a hand, something that is just more close up, extreme close-up. So you need a close-up, you need extreme close-up. And next one is considered a MCU. Does anybody know what an MCU could be? Joseph, just give him a second. If not, then you can answer.
Isn't it a medium close-up?
Medium close-up, yes, great. It's either considered a medium close-up or a mid close-up. Those are 2 different options. And a mid close-up, I'm essentially there right now, is something like this on me. It's essentially chest to head is going to be your mid close-up right there. All right. Make sense? Close-up, extreme close-up. Okay, so the third one is medium or mid close-up. Next is our medium shot. Now, a medium shot, what do you think a medium shot is? If this is my mid, this is my close-up, this is my extreme close-up, a medium shot, now I'm gonna have to get up and move. It is, sorry, all right. So this, okay, I have a chair right here that's in my way. Just turn the camera up.
It's from the waist up.
Yeah, essentially, this is me in medium shot. So it is waist up. That is going to be your medium, right? So this is of a person, again, medium, mid, close up, extreme close up. So that's 4 of the 7 required things for full credit. To go to. All right. A wide shot. Who could take? Can you guess which way we're going with the wide shot? What could the wide shot possibly be? Tilt up, I think. But a wide shot. I'm going all the way back. It's essentially full body shot. So feet to head. This is my wide shot. I'm in the screen. All right.
Isn't that also considered a full shot?
Yeah, wide or full. Those are synonyms. Good job, Joseph. All right. Let's see. Did I click out of it? I believe the next one is cross-cutting. And what is cross-cutting? So what cross-cutting is just an example. It's actually a storytelling example. And so what does that mean? That means like, I basically want you to cross-cut from one subject to another. Example of this would be, let me act out my little example here. Okay. So a cross-cut would be, okay, I'm pensively thinking of something. And then we cross-cut, and then, so then we cut to a close-up of my coffee cup. And then we cut back to me being like, and then, okay, so I just did that using my camera. Obviously, if it's edited, it's basically going from one subject to another and then back to the other subject. And that just allows us to learn that like spatially 2 things are near each other. Does that make sense? I will show you an example after I go through all of it. And then the final one is an establishing shot. Who could guess what establishing shot is? Okay, Joseph, what's establishing shot?
The first shot of a scene.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a first shot, but the establishing shot, especially on sitcoms, the first establishing shot of, let's say, those of you who've watched Full House or Fuller House, what's the first shot of every episode?
The house.
The house. So we know, hey, it takes place in the house, or you watch a show like Scandal and it takes place, you see the White House on the outside, right? So for me, it would be either the outside of my house, or maybe it would just be a shot of the room that I'm in. And that would be a good example. Let me show you one of my project number 1s I produced for class.
Ooh, I have a good example.
You got one?
Yeah,
Joseph?
I made a video actually for these YouTubers that came down to San Jose.
Really?
I'll show you.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to show us?
Yeah, let me get the link real quick.
All right. I'm just gonna let you share it.
It's a little explicit, not only language wise, but
All right. Thank you for the content warning. We do appreciate content warnings here. But just know
not
that
spoilers.
it's this is college, so
Yeah.
I will try to warn everybody when I show stuff that might be risque, but
Let me see.
a lot of student films have
Here, I placed the link in the chat.
great. Let's see. All right.
Hey, we up right now, nigga. Come on, bro. We out here for the happy dads and shit, nigga.
We out here not for the happy dads, we ain't getting shit. I want to see the Nelk boys throw some hundreds, nigga, because I'll talk for whatever.
on the SS Social. Loyalty over royalty, y'all niggas know the vibes.
Whooped it, bitch, I'm outside of some movie. Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a two-piece. You can have your bitch back, she a groupie. She just swallow all my kids in a two-seat. Swagged out, familiar, we bringing them gas out. I still got some racks stuffed in the trap house. Off the 42, blowing her back out. I'm back on my bullshit, swim back with a full clip. They say I'm wearing ruthless, and my shooters they shooting.
Guys fucking joint over there, and I have not been the same since, man. I don't know if I'll make it.
When I see police, then we gang low. That's another piece, that's another zone. Ice in the VVs, now she gotta get treachy. I got all this water on me like Fiji. Bitch, I'm posted up with hats and the sleazies. Smoking the Zaza, they go straight to the Mata. Then I'm up in the chopper, hitting the cha-cha. Open his lata, then he dancing my cha-cha. Smoking the Zaza, they go straight to the Mata. Then I'm up in the chopper, hitting the cha-cha. Then I'm open his lata, then he dancing my cha-cha. Whooped it, bitch, I'm outside of some movie. Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a two-piece. You can have your bitch back, she a groupie. She just swallow all my kids in a two-seat. Swagged out, familiar, we bringing them gas out. I still got some racks stuffed in the trap house. Off the 42, I'm blowing her back out. I'm back on my bullshit, swim back with a full clip. They say I'm moving ruthless, and my shooters they shooting. I won't take it, they ruthless.
Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald.
Yeah, a little wild, but pretty much the whole event was them promoting their new alcohol, and it took place at that spot, a liquor store in San Jose.
Yeah.
So I added that.
Made it. I got mine.
Sorry. Yeah, autoplay gets me every time. Great job. I mean, and honestly, something like that, Joseph, totally captures. I saw everything that we mentioned within that piece, right?
Yeah.
So that's a way that you can tell a story and do this first project, no problem at all. Now, let me show you my example. And you can see how I have them all labeled. This is actually also, if you want to go back and watch this one, so, you know, Joseph's was what, about 2.5 minutes. You can see that this one that I produced for one of the other classes, you will see that it's super quick. It doesn't have to be long.
Oh, geez, I'm just a horse. Man, I'm a pretty angry horse, though. Think I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna kill you. No, don't kill me. You did.
What happened to the extreme close-up? I didn't see that one.
It was there.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence.
Oh, now you got me nervous. Let me look.
I saw a close-up.
Oh, come on. I got an extreme close-up. Let me see. Let me see. It might have been my face.
No, you said crosscut on your face.
Yeah. Okay. Just hold on a second. I did the assignment right. Let's go back. Oh, this is not it. Oh, right there. Okay, let's open that up. Joseph making me doubt myself. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Let's see.
I've been extreme close up. It was the
Oh, wow.
you and the horse's eye. Come on. See?
All right. I'll give you that.
Hey, I make mistakes like anybody. And realistically, what I really recommend, especially since we're not meeting Thursday, check out the videos that I have posted on Canvas. There's a lot of examples of different types of shots and film composition. Basically, I'm here to answer any questions or concerns about this course. If not, we're going to wrap it for today just because this we've introduced pretty much all the elements I want to introduce right now. And we'll see each other here on Zoom on next Tuesday for a full and proper lesson. But any questions, concerns about this course, I'd love to. Obviously, we have more people registered than showed up. So hopefully they either start showing up or we see them in person. Now, does anybody have concerns or questions? Feel free to privately text me or message me about anything, but any questions anybody has now or anything. Also, I'm open to any movie or film recommendations.
Probably won't watch it, but what is it called? I had a question. So as you said, because I'm a master's student, for the first project, what was the first project? I'm sorry.
So you just need to note that a master's student's projects are due on different days. So yours, I don't think the master's student project is due for like, look it up. Just look on the scale. I think you have like a month for your first project. So you don't have to do across, I know you know framing and everything. Okay, yeah. Tuesday, September 14th. So you have, about 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, and that's on is that on Canvas?
That's on the schedule, yeah.
Schedule, okay, perfect.
Yeah, and it has, when it's due, also, you're the only master student, so you can tell if you're like, hey, Tim, here's a good thing for master students too, is like, you're like, hey, Tim, I actually want to do like a 30-minute movie. I'm like, okay, but that'll count as 3 or 4 year projects or whatever. So if you want to pitch me something different, I'm totally open for master students.
All right. So let's say the movie that I'm going to direct, if it's longer than 30 minutes, would that count for
longer than 30 minutes?
I want to make I honestly really want to make, I don't like short films. I want to make something longer.
All right, well,
I know it's going to be very hard. Obviously, it's going to be very, very hard. But
especially if you're doing it for Grant's class.
Yeah.
What I know, Grant, and I know what I would suggest is maybe, you were there for the film showcase, so you saw like,
yeah,
Padre de Dios was like 10 minutes long or something.
Yeah, see, I wanted much longer than that.
You want it much longer. Okay, so then maybe it's something where you film the first third with the intention, because I just know that as the semester goes and as the student, it's great to be ambitious.
Yeah.
You have to be realistic. And nothing's worse than putting in all this time and effort and filming this extremely long thing, but then you don't have time to edit it or put it together, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally understand that. And Grant did give me 2 days. He said we would use 2 days, 2 full days to film. But I also do have another class with him.
Yep.
An acting class. I want to see if I have people in there that can act in the film.
With me, I teach that class also. In fact, thank you for reminding me. I want to bring up the other courses that those of you might consider taking. If you're not already enrolled, tomorrow, this class does meet on campus. It will have a Zoom element as well if you feel unsafe, but this is acting for television. And what's great is maybe you don't feel comfortable acting, but if any of you want to be a good director or want to work on a set, it's always great to be able to know how to relate to your actors in the term, knowing what an actor is going through. Personally, for me, I will act only if I have to. I think I'm not very good at it because I can't, it's hard for me not to think like I think. And I always feel like you can tell that I'm thinking of the words on screen, but I'm able to, as a director, give proper and good notes to my actors that they understand are able to interpret. And that is a benefit to taking an acting class. You know what your actors and ultimately don't tell any of the actors, but the actors are just another tool, another resource that we, the filmmakers, the content creators, use in order to make the best content possible.
Yeah, kind of just understanding what they're capable of.
So that class is MCTV17. We still have open spaces. If you're interested in adding, you can tell me right now. Even if you want to check it in for the first couple of weeks, just come on, show up. That one takes place at the TV studio tomorrow from 3 to 5. Wednesdays, 3 to 5.
Another question, a little off topic, but I do have a friend who just switched his major. He goes to San Jose State, so he switches major to film. Will he be able to just join any of our classes? Not as like a student, but just to like explore and see more on how we do the film program.
And if you know anybody who wants to proctor this class, I've had students come to every single every single lesson and not be enrolled in the course. I'm happy to the students that are actually enrolled get priority as far as like assistance goes, but these classes tend to be small and you tend to get a lot of one-on-one interaction. So if you want, you feel free to share the link to the Zoom and they're welcome to come on campus. Well, I don't know, actually. That's a great question. We need to find out. I know you have to be enrolled in campus to be allowed, especially with the campus restriction. So know that we will be masked in the TV studio. You are required to be masked in the TV studio, both for acting.
More from that.
Huh?
I could find out more on that.
Yeah, we can talk more tomorrow when we see each other in person.
Sounds good.
Also, there's a filmmaking class that is on Fridays on in person at Gav. Joseph, what's the name of that one? It's like Humanities 3.
Wait, I'm sorry. The filmmaking. I believe it is 3. Let me check.
Sorry, I don't teach that one, so I forget always the title of it. Let me look it up. Sorry, we'll find that.
I can't find it.
It is Humanities 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my bad. Humanities 25. So HUM 25. And that meets on Fridays in person. And as you heard, Joseph's going to direct his own piece. They do, it's kind of like the class that's beyond this class. So it's great that he's a master's student. Also, if you are, I think you could take this class and take that class concurrently. If you are interested in becoming a film major or getting the degree in film, I really recommend taking this course when available because Humanities 25 is only taught once a year. So it's always the fall semester. We're in fall, right? Yeah, fall semester. So this would be your one opportunity within the school calendar year. If not, you have to wait a year to take it. So.
And that one is a motion picture production, correct?
Motion picture production, correct.
Yeah.
Humanities 25. All right, any other questions or comments or anybody want to share anything? If not, we'll call it a day, but I'm happy to sit here and talk with you about anything.
Another thing about the Humanities 25, it's connected to MCTV6, which is the acting one, so you can get both.
Yeah.
2 in 1.
Yeah. again, everything you do in one can be useful in another. So yeah, in the motion picture one, whatever you make in there, you could turn in as your final project here. And then I don't think you're going to get overloaded with too many film projects. You definitely can put your effort toward one and turn it in multiple areas.
And then the class, the MCTV17, are you teaching that one, or is Grant teaching that one?
Grant and I are team teaching it, so both of us.
And that's just one day.
One day, and then there'll be some. There's like on Mondays, it's rehearsal time, but that's on your own time.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but essentially, we'll be filming all of the projects and all of the exercises every week during from 3 to 5, and then you have rehearsal on your own time, so you just figure out when to make that up. Make sense? Obviously, you can check in with Grant on Fridays and et cetera, et cetera. It's a really fun course, especially you don't have to be a good actor, but you can learn how to identify. It really, the best part I get out of it is identifying who can act. If you go back and watch that Giggly Dickens, those two Marine guys at the beginning definitely cannot act.
Well, that sounds good.
Cool. All right, and I will be watching
Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah. I almost put it on once over the summer. I was staring at it. I was like, should I watch this? I should. And I
changed to Netflix server to Canada. I'm pretty sure it's free on there, so you can do that.
Oh well, I will find it.
I do that all the time. VPN it.
You use a VPN to get into Netflix Canada?
Yeah. Switch my VPN to Canada and you can go on the Netflix.
Oh. To try that out. Great. Anybody else? I look forward, William, Jasmine, Grace. Welcome to class. I look forward to working with all of you. And if not, I'm going to stop recording.